Awesome. Okay. Super excited. Good morning, everybody. Hope that you slept well and are doing absolutely incredible. We've got another Facebook Live coming at you this morning, doing the Reignite Your Soul podcast live here on my Facebook. So if you guys are here with us, say hello. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much. We're super excited. So I have an incredible friend of mine that I met in Colombia this past year, and she is absolutely such a beautiful soul, and she is a holistic health and well-being coach. And she is super passionate. She has an incredible story where she overcame disordered eating. And she's just so passionate now about sharing how to create this intuitive eating and this mindfulness so that we can really cultivate that body image that we want and have that healthier relationship with our food. And I'm super excited for you to be here, Desie. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I would love if you would mind sharing your story. I know you've told me this story like quite a few times now, and it honestly just inspires me so much. So would you mind sharing your story and how this whole journey kind of started for you?
Yes, of course. I have had an eating disorder for about 6 years which started when I was 15. And this eating disorder really came from me not accepting myself as who I was and feeling like I was unworthy and not enough if I wouldn't change the way I looked. So it started with wanting to change the way I looked so that people would accept me. That was my goal at that point. So it wasn't like you never really planned to have an eating disorder, but it just happens that way.
Yeah.
And it started with like unhealthy eating habits, like not eating to eating more, and it just started to go all the ways, and it developed into anorexia and bulimia, like a combination. And at my 18, I was at my worst, and that's where I really got a realization of the life that I was living at that point, that wasn't the life that I wanted to live. That if I was going to continue to live my life this way, that I wouldn't be able to do the things that I actually wanted to do, and that I wouldn't live life as I thought that life was supposed to be. So I started really focusing on my recovery, and that became the most important thing for me. And I also started to realized that nutrition is so important, and taking care of yourself and your body is so important, and that we need fuel, not only for our physical health, but also for our mental health, and that everything all together connects with each other. So your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, and that in order to find balance within those pillars, you really need to start working on each of them step by step in order to feel healthy and good within your body. Mm-hmm. And that's where I started studying nutrition and continuing in more alternative holistic health. And that's where I started to study holistic health and lifestyle coaching. And it really became my passion and my mission to teach other women how to heal their relationship with food and their body, and to ultimately have them be able to live the life that they want to live, and to not have anything stop them from doing that. Mm-hmm. And today, that's what I'm doing. I'm coaching and teaching women all over the world, basically, to do this, to create this loving relationship with themselves and their bodies and with food, and that food can be fun, and that food can be joyful, and healthy eating is a part of that. But it's not about restriction or dieting or whatever. It's just really learning the basics of how food works and how it can support you instead of work against you.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And your story is incredible. And for you, it was with under eating and then needing to gain the weight. But this is something, and maybe you can chat a little bit more about this. This is something that everybody can learn from, because it's all about that body image and that food. And like you said, food is fuel. And there's so many distorted thought processes and belief systems that we have in society these days, whether it's overeating, whether it's undereating, or whether it's just being okay with putting the wrong foods into your body that are not serving you. And for you, like, I'd love to know, like, what exactly does it mean to you? Like, what does intuitive eating mean to you, for those of people that are listening that don't quite know?
Yeah. Intuitive eating, I would say intuitive eating is about being able to eat basically whatever you want, whenever you want, with a healthy intention. And healthy can be not necessarily the food is healthy, but also with a healthy intention of eating the food. If the food maybe is chips, for example, because you feel like chips and that's what you want, then let the chips be chips, and to have some of them. But if you have a relationship towards food, and in this case to the chips, and see it as a bad food, then it becomes an unhealthy decision, because you decide to eat that chips because you probably want to solve a feeling or an emotion, or you want to soothe anything that is going on inside of you. So really, intuitive eating is about learning how to be able to eat all types of food and don't have any restrictions on whatever you can eat, and to let yourself have that conversation, like to try things out, to try out what foods you actually like. Like you can say like, this is healthy, so I like it, or this is what I eat and it's healthy. But maybe there's also different things that you actually enjoy and actually make you feel happy. In that way, you're listening to your body, and not so much to what's going on in your mind or what you've been told. Yeah.
I love that. And it's so cool because, like you said, it's the same action of, say, eating the food, but everything in life, it doesn't matter what it is all about the intention behind it, right? Like I had Chicago mix last night and I freaking loved every second of it. There was no bit of regret or shame or anything like that. It's those emotions that we pull into the food that actually causes more damage than the actual food that we're eating. Our minds are so powerful as humans. It's like, what we can create cortisol, which is a stress hormone, with thought alone. So eating healthy food with that those emotions and that like guilt and that shame, it really like it negates the fact that you're even eating healthy food. So it's truly is all about the intention behind what you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah, like you said, like whatever, like a thought can give you distress already. So if you're panicking about whatever choice you're making, like whether it's eating a lot of food or to try not to eat too much food, it is stress. So it's not feeling comfortable in where you're at, where you are, and just trusting your body that it knows what it needs. And it will ask you for what it needs, and to learn to give it, to give that to it.
Yeah. And a lot of it is like listening to our bodies too. And I know that sometimes that can be a little bit hard to be able to like actually navigate like the thoughts in your head and sinking down into your body. Cause I know I always say like we have to get out of our heads and into our hearts, and to really be able to feel inside of our intuitive bodies, because our bodies are incredible messengers. It's just that we have this belief system that has kind of like blocked our way of being able to actually communicate and understand what our actual bodies are telling us. So do you have anything, like one action that people that are watching this, that are really wanting to start becoming more intuitive with their eating, building that relationship with their food and also their body image, and gaining that healthier relationship do you have any like piece of advice, any actions that people can start taking to kind of start cultivating this relationship?
Yeah. Well, really pops up in my mind immediately is that when we have all these feelings going on and this stress going on, the most important thing is to learn how to let that feeling in. Because when we feel this stress and this force that is like working against us, we're fighting it, we're fighting something. And to let that fight go, to at the moment when you feel like this, when you feel very stressed before you're going to eat, or when you feel just very stressed in general, and you feel like if I'm not going to do something about this, maybe you're not aware of that, but if you know, it will just go up, up, up until the point that it breaks and I snap and I just want to eat whatever is available. Yeah. To sit with yourself, whether it's on a chair, on the ground, wherever, just to sit with yourself and to put yourself back down and to breathe towards the feeling, and to really let that feeling be there. So to allow that feeling, to allow that fear, to allow that stress. And a lot of times something, if you can get to there, like it needs practice. It needs practice to do that. But every time you do that, you will get better at it. And if you start to face that feeling and that fear or that stress or whatever it is, you will be able to release it. Mm-hmm. And it's such a good feeling that you're able to actually release it by not needing to use something for it, but mm-hmm. just you sitting with yourself and letting it be there. And with surrendering to the feeling, you allow space for it to go away and to let good things come in.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Just surrendering to the emotions and not like judging them for mm-hmm. what they are, or not judging them whether they're good or bad, because we tend to only want certain emotions within our body, and then we've been taught to shove down the rest of them. But as we shove down the rest of them, it's just causing this emotional dis-ease in our bodies. And it really does cause so much more harm than good. So I love that, like, just breathe into it and just allow it to happen. And I know yesterday when we were chatting, you were talking about a little exercise that you can do before you sit down and eat.
Yeah. I'll share that again. So what you can do before you eat is before you eat anything, to just sit still, to pause, and to ask yourself how you're feeling, for like what's going on, and to intentionally or mindfully start eating. So with an intention, like how am I feeling right now? How do I want to feel while eating this? Do I actually want to enjoy this? Do I want to feel good about this food? Do I want to have this food nourishing me? And to start eating with that intention. So to take that break before you start eating anything, you can really relax into how you actually want the experience of the whole eating to be. Mm-hmm. Because food is an experience as well. And for some, it's a great experience. And for others, it's not a great experience. It's just fear. So let yourself have that moment of like changing the conversation, changing how you feel consciously about the eating, about the actual facts that you're going to eat.
I love that. So like almost like create like a couple categories. So like when you're sitting down, being very mindful, sitting there, actually like showing gratitude for your food. I know I started doing this, and like it like made like a big difference, like just like saying thank you, because there's so many things we don't think about, like the people that actually went into like go and harvest this stuff to grow like the food that we're eating, to like be able to get it to our plates. Like there's so much to be thankful for. And when we don't take that second to be mindful about it, it's like we're missing so much of the beauty in life just by even just taking that quick second to like say thank you for this. Mm-hmm. And just like checking in with those emotions, with how you are feeling toward that, and then taking that emotion and then without that judgment, and then asking yourself like, okay, how am I feeling about having this emotion? Mm-hmm. Like I absolutely love that, because I know for me, when I like was like kind of going into this more healthier lifestyle, like I remember like being younger, like when I was in high school, and like we'd be like on our way to like rugby tournaments, and it would be like the cool thing to do to eat like 2 double Big Mac meals, just like just to show that you could do it. And it's so like bizarre, like thinking back to that, because it's like it's almost like unhealthy food has become like a cool social thing to do. And then once I started shifting into this, like I want to start feeling better. So I started eating healthier. There was this feeling that I felt like I would be excited to be eating like a healthy food when I went out, but then you have this people like judging you for, say, choosing healthy options, or like, are you on a diet? Or they start questioning you about your own like what you're choosing to eat. And I love that, because it sometimes you have to think levels deep. And this is something that you have to learn. Like, we just kind of do this naturally now. Like we start like asking more questions. And like you said before, like it's like being optimistically curious and asking questions and being more playful in what we're doing. And by questioning those emotions. So like, I know for me, like it'd be like, I'd be sitting down eating this amazing like salad that I would just like loved. And it was like, I was like super happy, but then like, how was I feeling about feeling this emotion? Like I was feeling judged. That feeling of judgment had nothing to do with anybody else. It had everything to do with me. So how can I personally work on this feeling of feeling judged? Because at the end of the day, and I always say this, but at the end of the day, it always comes down to us individually. And this can be like a very hard thing to deal with sometimes, because like a lot of the time we just want to blame other people or other things for like what's going on inside of us. But at the end of the day, it really truly does come down to everything going on inside of us and the decisions that we choose to make, and the challenging our own thoughts and our emotions and our belief system in order to be able to start making those changes. And I love how you said that it's going to take time to do this, because a lot of the time we want this quick reward. And in order to be able to build habits, it's just a fact. It takes patience, and it takes being able to do things over and over and over and over again. And we all think that it has to be this crazy, hard solution to what we're doing. But in reality, like something as small as that can truly help so much, can truly help to change your mindset around the food that you're eating. Or if you're working out and you're like hating doing your workout, just being mindful about what you're doing before and checking in and saying, okay, what is my intention going into this? How do I want to feel going into this? And then go into it with that feeling. Just something very small like that, and doing it consistently over and over and over again is going to start building that habit, so that all of a sudden it starts becoming natural for us to be able to do things mindfully and do things intuitively, and actually start listening to our bodies, so that we understand what foods are actually nourishing our bodies and what foods are actually serving us and making us feel those incredible ways we want to feel, or which ones are maybe not. But then when we go into it, if we know that this is something like the Chicago mix that I ate last night, I went into it knowing that it would probably hurt my stomach, but I enjoyed every single second of it, because when you get that caramel and the cheese popcorn together, it's like magic in your mouth, right? But it's like going into it. Have you had them?
No.
Oh my gosh, man, I've got to find out how to get you some. It's magical. It's like popcorn, but it's like, there's like a caramel popcorn and a cheese one, but they're mixed together in the same bag. So it's like when you like grab it, it's like magical. It kind of sucks when you get all cheese, but you just got to like pick out a caramel one and then have like the two together, and it's like amazing. But it's all about like the feeling, and like not like going, whatever it is that we're doing in life, we just have to be okay with the outcome, the desired outcome, and start becoming mindful about what that is.
Yeah, exactly. And also I think it's important to always remember your why, because like in this case for you, your experience and the joy and the fun, and probably also the sharing with your friends, and even if it's not sharing with your friends, if you really enjoy that, then that's your why. Like if you want to be able to live a lifestyle where you can eat those foods, then you totally, that's why you want to do that. But also with working out, to know why do you want to work out? Why do you want to, like, if you think about it, like, I want to feel good, I want to feel strong, I want to feel empowered, I want to feel energized, like exercise is going to give you that. So it makes it so much more like easy to grasp, or like it's not a hard thing to do. You just have to put your mind to it, and with practice you will get into it. And also with changing your lifestyle or intuitive eating, or healing from an eating disorder, it's very important to know why you're doing this, that you want to experience freedom within your eating, within your life, within whatever you're doing, and that you also want to feel healthy, energized, and good inside your body.
Mm-hmm. So true. I love that. The reason why is like huge, huge. So thank you for sharing that. And I know that like going through anything like this, like it can be very challenging doing things on your own. And so what services is it, Desie, that you provide to be able to help guide people along this journey? Because you're such a beautiful soul and you have so much experience, not only going through this yourself, but also helping other women to be able to overcome and to have that amazing, healthy relationship. So I would love for you to be able to share what kind of things you've been working on, because I know you've been working hard on some new projects. So I would love for you to be able to share that with everybody.
Yes, thank you. Well, my main thing that I do is private coaching. And I do private coaching for like 3 to 6 months because I think it's really important because it takes time to make that change.
Yeah.
That I want to be fully in the process with you. Like I really want to take you through the process, and I want to give you the opportunity to create that change. And that's where I work with clients towards creating a healthy relationship with food, understanding what food is about, how they see themselves, self-love, the whole package. And then I also created my program, Holistic Health Mastery Program, which is a 6-week program, which basically contains all that I do within private coaching, but then into a group coaching program. Do you still hear me? Because you're stuck. No. Hi?
Oh, we're back. We had a little glitch.
I was like, am I speaking?
Seriously, your 6-week mastery program.
Yeah. So my 6-week Holistic Health Mastery Program is a program where I put everything I normally teach within private coaching into one program, and I offer it to a group of women where we can, all work on our health and relationship with ourselves and our food. And yeah, I'm starting this program in about 2 weeks. So if people still want to join, they can totally contact me and join. And that's another way how I help people.
That's incredible. I love that. And like one-on-one coaching is so powerful. And also like the group coaching, it's incredible just to meet other people going through the same situation as you, because then all of a sudden you don't feel so alone. You feel more supported. You have that accountability. And once you have that accountability, like it increases your rate of success like massively. And I just want to thank you so much, Desie, for like just being so brave in your own journey and for overcoming all of these things and never giving up, and your resilience, and just being such an incredible person, and really truly now giving back to women and being able to make that impact. And if any of you guys are watching this or listening to this and you feel very pulled to reach out to Desie, how are they able to reach out to you and contact you?
They can contact me on my website, which is my name, and I can put it down in the comments later on below. Or you can find me on my Instagram, which is also Desie Laenen. On Facebook, you can find me right there as well. And you can just message me there, or you can apply to the program or to my private coaching on my website.
Amazing. And for those of you guys listening to the audio, it's DesieLaenen. So you can find her on Instagram or her website. So thank you so much for being on here with us today. If you guys got value out of this, if you'd love to share this episode, tag people in this, it's truly something that could change somebody's life. So I just want to thank you once again for being on here with us today. And I hope that everybody has the most incredible day today.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.